Welcome to the Virtual Film Company Studio One on VR Chat. I hope everyone had a good Christmas and is ready for the new year. So, today we're going to look at what happened to the Ark. I know everyone was very disappointed as it sped past the Earth and didn't stop to pick up people that had wanted a better planet to go to. Now it all falls in the hands of Elon Musk, and unfortunately, we don't have permission to sell tickets to Mars yet. And so, if you have an ARC ticket, be sure to either get a refund or get a ticket to our next calamity, which will be coming soon. Today we have Mystery and the Alien with us. Welcome.
We're always seem to be with you. They may want to just keep the ticket as a souvenir, though. You know, you didn't even mention that as an option to them. You know, there is people who collect items. Like if you had a ticket to the Titanic, it would be worth some kind of a value. And another point is, who is to say that there wasn't, ships that got off? There was exchange, who knows, the wormholes. Maybe there's a teleporter that they were able to beam people up to this thing. So there's all kinds of possibilities. If you watch sci-fi movies, there's plenty of possibilities that could have happened.
Indeed. Everything is possible. So hang on to those tickets, because as you'll notice, as Mystery was speaking, the price went up in our store because those tickets are now rare collectibles.
Yes. And if you do see digital anyway, go ahead.
You did have a ticket at the Titanic, you'd now be dead. And if you did have a ticket and got on the Ark, you'd now be dead. You can't really live on a comet unless you're an alien, and you can have fun.
That's not true, though. My great-grandpa had a ticket for the Titanic, but he got sick, so he wasn't able to go. So just because...
Very lucky. He's a very lucky man.
Well, he lived his life, but he's no longer with us. But yes, so just because you never know what could happen. And if you're in the wild, you maybe want to carry your ticket around with you and get it signed by the person sold the tickets. That would even make it worth more money.
Indeed. An alien signature on the tickets, signed by the alien himself.
Well, it could be all three. All three of us could then really add into the value of the ticket signing.
Yes, certainly. Particularly a digitally wired signature, which these days is going for a small fortune.
I am not surprised.
Seems Mystery here has hiccups. Something seems to be trying to come out of his body. I wonder what's going on. Perhaps he's possessed.
Well, it's called being in a headset and having tracking. See this? See these abilities, these magical abilities that I have right here?
So he thinks waving his hands around is something magical. We all know that's totally normal. But to people like Mystery,
I don't see you. I don't see you doing that.
Cast a spell.
Cast a spell.
That's a magic spell. Yeah, with magic hands.
All I need is some music, and then I could do it to the beat, and that would just add a whole nother level of realism to what is taking place. Gonna magically make clothes appear on you.
Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom.
The sponsors, man. The sponsors. Yes, the sponsors want, do want you to endorse a clothing line because it will help them generate more sales. So, as comfortable as you are and the way you are, these people who sell products, they really are looking, you are a very desirable client.
Definitely. Definitely.
I wouldn't do that to you folks. I wouldn't.
There's
Sign
all
your money
kinds of
away.
garments, though, you're missing out on: socks and underwear, t-shirts, dress shirts, ties, hats. There is, so many different, it's called putting together a wardrobe, and these people they need more clients. They need you to spend more money,
Get yourself wardrobes.
Sexy underwear.
Yeah.
MDF.
Yeah.
Screws
Screws.
and nails and MDF balls. Put together your wardrobe. I'd even lend you a hammer and a screwdriver.
Okay, well, the alien's gone off the rails, and so let's
Yeah.
move to our
Yeah,
next topic, which is
let's
of
move to it.
interest to all the Masons out there. This is a public service announcement. If you are planning to join the Metropolitan Police Department, be warned. You may be asked to disclose whether you're a Mason or not.
Interesting.
Yes. See if you've got any hammers.
So, yeah, I mean, that is, well, what do they got? The compass? They got the compass, the square and compass is usually, those are the tools that are on the symbol. So, what is your thoughts on that? Being in the UK and people needing to disclose that, it's a religion. So it's like, to me, it's like saying if you were any of the normal religions.
Well, unfortunately, that may be what's
Stonemason
coming
is a
next.
religion. It was formed by some builders who wanted some protection and formed their own club. It's the Builders Club of Stonemasons. What I know about the police, Stonemason Police Force, a new department. If you're a stonemason, you now could become a member of Metropolitan Police. Interesting.
What is your guys' thoughts on it, though?
Who's a stonemason? Don't know any. Don't know any masons.
Oh, well, that just seems to be
Perry Mason.
Perry Mason. Yes, maybe that's what they meant.
Oh my gosh.
You have to disclose any relationship with Perry Mason's family to the government.
Oh my gosh.
Terrible.
Solicitors can now work for the police.
Oh my goodness. Was Perry Mason actually a Mason? ... That is a mystery for, Put it in the comments.
Or was he a Perry?
Well, he was a Perry.
Interesting
for sure.
questions, because if one looks at surnames, then generally that surname in the old days was based on the profession that one had, so.
I mean, that's true. So his family was professional Masons, I would guess. I would put it, it'd be a long stretch to think that down his heritage line there were not some Masons in the Perry Mason line. It'd be quite impressive.
Well, moving on.
Well, we didn't... Wait. Before we move on to the topic, you just brought... Go ahead.
Mason, you have to know the secret Mason's handshake. I bet you don't know what it is.
Well, that is a secret for another day.
Yes, indeed.
Indeed.
If he knew what it is and said what it is, it wouldn't be a secret anymore, would it?
Absolutely. That's why no one knows about it.
Oh my goodness.
That's why it's a
So,
secret.
so
Yeah.
before we gloss over the topic, you brought this up without giving your opinion of weighing in on what you think. You know, you spent some time there. How do you feel about people needing to this point of interest? And then you can move on to the next topic.
Well, I think there's two aspects to it, right? So, I personally have been through security checks and have to disclose everything, including the type of toilet paper I used and various other things. And so, if you want to be part of the club, you kind of have to go along with it. But to your point, I think it should be looked upon as a religion. And, it was formed many, many, thousands of years ago and does have a long history. And the danger here, obviously, is if have to disclose your religion when you're looking for a job, then people are starting to keep lists of what religion you may be. And I think that's the big danger.
Yes. That'd be agreed. I personally don't think that somebody should need to disclose their religion to be hired. Like there's, and the same thing with race. Like I think we should be hiring the most qualified person for the job. I mean, that's
Yes, we should be hiring the most qualified person for the job. I totally agree, but there are certain jobs where, I've had a microscope shoved up my butt basically because of the
oh,
job, but that's an expectation of that job. And that's one of the reasons I don't like to do those kind of jobs because, you're under the microscope all the time. You get a parking ticket, you have to report it. It's
were you applying to be a proctologist?
No, 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 no. But they wanted to see everything there was about me, so,
Okay, there we go.
inside and out.
All right, well, I think that was a good place to literally leave the conversation. So, what is our next topic here?
So, our next topic is food. I mean, when can we not have a broadcast where we don't bring up food and my recent extreme disappointment at not being able to get adequate Christmas treats? After our last broadcast, I went to three different grocery stores, and the best that I could come up with was a Christmas fruit loaf, which
I I
was
thought you were going to say
okay,
a
but
ho
not
ho.
great. No, no, no. So no mince pies, no Christmas pie, no anything to do with
What about
Christmas.
Twinkies? Didn't they have Twinkies at the store?
No, those aren't considered Christmas. They did have some Christmas cookies,
Or some cream
boring
pies
Christmas
or a
cookies.
cream
No,
pie, you
no,
know?
no, 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 no.
Yeah.
So
You know,
we
some people
now
that
have
would
a
be quite a
challenge
treat.
for everybody viewing this program in America. By this time next year, I expect you to have come up with a American Christmas treat that is as delightful as a mince pie. So we're going to measure it against the best scrumptious mince pie out there. So all you have to
Oh,
do is submit your recipe to
well,
us. Yes.
well, I think there's a lot of people that love pizza here in the United States, so I think that there should be a special pizza dessert brought into existence. I think it should be. Why not? Why not make it a pizza? It's very American, very healthy food. Yeah.
Well, those of you out there listening to this, tell us what you think of the idea of a Christmas pizza treat. Doesn't that sound absolutely disgusting?
Holly on it.
With a bit of holly on it, yes. Make sure it's poisonous holly, right?
Oh, come on. You're not making it edible now. Is it gonna be a decoration, or are you trying to eat this thing? Like for me, I was thinking along the lines of like a gingerbread pizza and, you know, all of the different, they seem to want to put Nutella or peanut butter or
Oh,
chocolate or
a gingerbread pizza. Oh my god. Oh god, disgusting.
I mean, you put some cinnamon and some sugar on it, next thing you know, it's almost like an elephant ear, honestly. So, I'm just trying to give some ideas. I still think it's the cookie. There is a lot of different cookies, and the right cookie is delicious. And anybody who has, I would say that's American as you could get. The cookie.
So now Mystery is claiming that Americans invented the cookie, right? So
I did not.
Viewers, let us know what you think about that claim as well. Here we go. America invented the Christmas cookie.
In the UK, they're called the Cook.
Mm. And does that mean you only have one of them? You can't have multiple ones, just one.
There's multiple chefs.
One cook.
One cook. Yeah, one cook, multiple chefs. They're not very tasty.
Well, maybe that's why you need to come here to the United States, because they know how to bake cookies here. Lots of cookies.
And lots of burgers.
Yes, the burger and French fries. Very American.
So we're all looking forward to seeing what you come up with, whether it's a pizza or burger or French fries, hopefully not treats. Think mince pies, something delicious and sweet and savory and something that you just want to eat more and more and more of.
Well, I would say a very good banana bread would be. I'd put that also on the list. But
yes, but it needs
I
to
don't
be
know if that's
special
a dessert
for Christmas. It needs to be designed for Christmas. It needs to become the American Christmas tradition.
I think it's a great question of what actually is, but America has got so many different cultures that are part of this mixing pot that it makes me really wonder. We borrow from everybody, but yet we are inventors as well. So to me, it's going to be something fused, however it's dissected. People are going to say its origins were from other places, which makes sense because the United States only been around for a few hundred years. So if you really start tapping into it, I think that's what you're going to get.
Okay, so you're saying that mince pies originated with the Romans. Perhaps they did.
Well, I thought you said that's from the UK. I'm talking about we're talking here in the United States.
Yes, no, I am. But mince pies are...
Like, what about a scone over there? A scone... That could be a breakfast, or
yes,
it could be an amazing dessert. Yes, delicious. I think I had my best one over there in the UK. They know how to make, and that is it a pastry? Can it be a dessert? You could put fruit in it. You can doctor that thing all up, and people put you can do all different things with it.
Well, in case anyone was wondering, the mince pie originated with the Crusaders returning from the Holy Land in the 12th and 13th century, which introduced these recipes, including meats, dried fruits, exotic spices like cinnamon, cloves, and nutmeg. So, early 1390s, it started appearing in cookbooks in England.
Well, that is a long time ago to claim something. And if you're not hungry yet, I think we should change the subject. Unless the person here in the UK has any closing statement on that.
Christmas cake.
Yes, Christmas cake. Let's all
Well, I
have a
guess that's as
slice.
Christmas as you can get it. That's as Christmas as you can get it. If you got a cake that's named Christmas cake, I mean, how you gonna top that?
And you probably don't know what a Christmas cake
with it
is, do you, Mystery?
with a Yule tree log. You put a Yule tree log on it.
Uh, I would say it is very festive and decorated in a way that is colorful. I would describe the Christmas cake as that.
Yep. Well, you could pour some brandy on it and set light to it
Oh,
in the house
all
down.
right. You know, so if you are a fan of the spirits and alcohol, this may be your new favorite thing.
You know, the Christmas cakes that I remember had a very thick white icing around them, and some had a
Mm,
layer of marzipan over
mm.
them. And so you had the icing, the marzipan, and then the cake itself. I mean,
It seems like we could just do a host show that would be all about food, but I think we should get to the next topic.
well, our last topic for the day is, since it's the end of the year and people are wondering what to do with their money, we are going to talk about gold and silver, but we're also going to remind people that we are not investment advisors and anything we say should be taken with a grain of salt.
We're just passing some opinions and information on, that is all.
And our opinions are our own. And so if you lose your shirt by following anything that we say, it's your fault altogether.
If they heard this whole dissertation we just had about food, I think that that would be good enough cause to get them to this point. So spill it. Let's hear what we got to say about, you know, these precious metals that, you know, I think it's always interesting. You've got copper and brass and all these other metals, but it always comes down to the gold and the silver. But there's also a lot of other precious minerals that also have value. But go ahead, we'll make it about gold and silver because that's what people always want to talk about and hear about.
Well, the main four are gold, silver, titanium, and palladium, I believe. So,
Yep.
platinum, right?
And platinum.
Yes. So, the point is that we seem to be reaching a situation, and I don't think many people are aware of this yet, where people are looking for something real. And, you know, as I've said for the last God knows how many years, you know, Bitcoin has certainly proved to be a good investment for some people, but never lose sight of the fact that Bitcoin is based on nothing, zero, absolutely zero. And so
I think, yeah. I think the interesting thing with Bitcoin as the years have went by is when you look who owns most of the Bitcoin. Yes, there is some people who got in early and have put themselves, but when you look at the real big people who are buying it and controlling it, at you know, they're really the people who are controlling that thing. And if at any point they just decide that all of this money should actually go over to this, and these people they could literally crash the thing and then be like, well, this is actually the new currency, and they could put all of that investment, you know, there's no contract that makes them keep that money there. So there's a lot of trust. And it's like the Wall Street crash of many years ago. In a day, they could just all be organized and do the big move. And that would leave, you know, it's a very interesting, you know, I believe in it in a certain extent, but it's a huge level of trust that you're putting in these people who already are controlling everything.
So, welcome to the original idea that Bitcoin would take, you wouldn't have to trust bankers anymore because you could put your money in Bitcoin and lose it.
Well, it's true. When it feel like when it first came out, it had that novelty of this uniqueness. But if you look at the people who are the major owners of it, they're the investment people now. Now you got to look at it as not where it started; it's where it's at now, and the people who really are the holders of all of this thing. And I don't know. We're not giving any. We're not trying to give anybody advice. Just making observations that there's a lot of trust there that these people could. I don't know. It's I don't know, even talking about it. It's heavy in energy. It's very heavy energy.
Yes, well, I should finish up, I guess, what I was saying there in that, and just to go to Jolly's point, Bitcoin was originally started to get away from the world monetary system and the control of governments, but, it's still not worth anything. And today, what we're seeing is Bitcoin is one of the tokens amongst the many thousands and thousands, I don't know how many thousands, there's more than five at least, tokens out there that people can buy. So it's not unique anymore. And people are also starting to pull back. And so there are certain predictions that say Bitcoin is going to correct itself at $12,000. And so we'll see what happens there.
To me, it makes me just wonder of where all of these people who have these hundreds of billions of dollars, where they are going to choose to allocate their money, because they call them the whales. And for those people that think that they don't truly dictate where everything goes, I mean, they just do.
Well, that's where we come back to our topic of discussion here, and that is gold and silver. So, we've seen over the last 2-3 years gold going up in price quite dramatically, and lately we saw a rise and fall of gold and silver because people were starting to abandon digital assets and move into gold and silver. But that's just the nature of these investments. You will see ups and downs, but regardless, what I think is that people are going to start wanting more tangible goods for their money. And we're going to see a shift from non-tangibles to tangibles.
Well, this takes us back to from being here for all this period of time in the metaverse when people were building art here and creating things. And it's like, yeah, we could put this piece of art on our wall behind us here. But you can't physically have it in the real world. So I think people are really ready to have both. Like this transition, instead of it just being this whole digital currency, what about having an actual coin that then, when you own a certain amount of a coin, you could actually have certain coins that could equate to that as well. And then now you're not just relying on this key or something like that. There could be a chip put in this coin that, I feel like that's where we're getting to where now you're getting to something that's got a tangible, those are going to be the real, I see power items as having things that have value for this world and the physical world.
Yes, I can see much problems when I go down to the local bakers with my Bitcoin and ask for a loaf of bread. They say they can't give me any change. Outrageous. Don't give me any change for a loaf of bread. Have next.
What is the world coming to?
Maybe you needed to drink some more brandy before going on that adventure.
Well, they wouldn't serve me if I was drunk. That's for sure.
Well, I didn't say you needed to be drunk. You could have just maybe been to the level that spirits could have been influencing you. could have just maybe been to the level that spirits could have been influencing you. And in that point, anybody who's been affected by spirits knows that, your ability to convince somebody to do something that they normally would not have done, there's an ability with that when you bring in the element of spirits.
They must be very powerful.
They are. Look at them here. And you know what? We're about to, as this show is coming to a close, to not acknowledge our packed audience here, the spirit world, we value you. Some people don't take you serious or even believe in you. And to those people, maybe you should have another drink or two and really get comfortable with the spirits, because if you do drink enough, they could influence you. But the truth is, you maybe don't even need to drink to be connected with the spirit world, but that's a mystery for another day.
Yes, and I have to say that, we don't advocate drinking on the show. We consider drinking to be something that is harmful to you, and suggest that every time you have a drink, you should ask yourself a question, and that question should be, what is this doing to my body? And am I happy with the fact that I am voluntarily poisoning myself? And if the question is answered by a yes, then why don't you just do it quickly and get it over with?
Oh my goodness. That is yes, there is so much truth to that. I think many people can relate to that. It's been the holidays, and if they celebrate it on an occasion, the next day they maybe lost a day of productivity because they were busy recovering from the poison. Anything alien in closing with this warning that we've delivered?
Well, that's not to say that.
Oh, yes, that's all true. Ask yourself, do I want another headache? And think about it. Or if you drink quickly, that could be called binge drinking. Drink as much as you can, as quickly as you can, and get totally sungoed, and then
Oh my gosh.
be aware of absolutely nothing.
Oh my gosh. The blackout drunk.
You wake up in the morning, and then you'll have that headache. Yes, think carefully.
Yes, you never know who you may wake up with.
And this is very important, because New Year's Eve is tomorrow. Most people will be out binge drinking. So, yay!
Yes, please drink responsibly if you must drink, and
make sure you are of age as well. Make sure you are of age if you're drinking as well. We definitely do not promote underage using or consuming of any celebratory experiences or substances. So, happy holidays.
Yes, happy holidays. Just stay at home, lock your bedroom door, and you'll be better off than if you were on the streets. So enjoy that.
That's a matter of opinion. You actually may have much more fun if you go to a social event and socialize with people. Too many people are locking themselves in their house and not going out and celebrating with other people. And you don't need to even do any substances to have a good time. You could just be in the company of people. We need more, there is celebrating there should be more of that in the world. So,
well, let us know in the comments what you think one should do. Be safe, stay at home, or take a chance and go out and celebrate in public. And be sure to like and subscribe. We'll see you all next year, or maybe sooner, depending on what happens.
We'll go to the pub and kiss a stranger at midnight.
Okay.
Very sociable.
Okie dokie.
As you can see, some people rely on alien intelligence, and as you can see, He has just delivered some for you. And then you have artificial intelligence that also chimed in on their opinion. And then you have the mystery of what could be. So follow your heart and do what speaks to you. And own your responsibility for your actions, because ultimately there's many choices and each one has a mystery to be revealed. So hope you enjoy your mystery.
Well said, Mystery. Have a good one, everyone. We'll see you around the corner. Cheers.
See you next year.